Hi, I'm Melissa,
And I'm Julie.
and we're here with Victorian Trading Company to tell the stories and to share some of our favorite items with you guys that are timeless and have endured for over a century or more. Right now, we're feeling Valentine's-y, and I'm wearing vintage Victorian Trading Company red velvet from probably 20 years back because I can't let go of a sample. But anyway, the thing that we love about Victorian Trading Company is that we sell the classics. They're not trendy. It's things that never, ever go out of style. And Julie, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a current Victorian Trading Company dress. So this is one of our jewel tone, and we also have it in burgundy and I believe green. So very comfortable.
Velvet.
Velvet.
We love velvet.
We love velvet.
Can't get enough velvet. So because we're kind of feeling amorous right now this time of year, one of our favorite collections stems from really a fetish that we've had over the many years. When we go to antique shows and shops and local haunts, we collect photographs of old Victorians who are no longer with us in body. And especially, we have an affinity for the handsome men, the Civil War soldiers. And so we've accumulated a nice collection of handsome Civil War soldiers. And our art department, we fondly refer to them with names that are Heathcliff, and he's my favorite. So what we did was we took this collection of old photographs and we've got a lot of them actually. These are our chick magnets.
We have a problem with handsome
Yes,
men.
we love handsome men.
So.
We just love them. So we put them in our Lovers from Another Life collection. And there's really not much your husband can do about it, or your lover, because this was your previous life. So you're still good.
It's legal.
It is legal. It is legal. And they are so handsome. So we rendered these to a lot of different products. The pillows were our first introduction. We could not keep them in stock. So handlebar mustaches and beautiful eyes and good strong jaws. And very, very handsome men.
Although my favorite one was skipped as a pillow. So I'm a little salty about that. He's this one right here, who is my personal favorite. So
very intense.
We might have another run where he makes a pillow. So but they are a lot.
We barely dipped into the
Yes.
handsome faces, so there will be more.
And then
We actually have and it's Raining Men umbrella with more of them featured on the. So there we go.
there you go. See the whole thing.
Yes.
Everybody gets to be. Are they all on this? There's different ones.
There's
on
some
this
extras.
Too. Yes,
We've got some other guys. Very
Okay.
sensitive faces.
Yeah.
Straight noses, high cheekbones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, the Lovers from Another Life collection was well received from the beginning. And I think it's fun to say that we are just spirits passing through another human phase. So who knows? Why is it that we have this affinity for beautiful old things? Maybe we knew them. Maybe we did. Okay, I'm not telling. Okay, so then what else do we have here?
Let's see. So that's all of those guys, and then we have our gown. This is our Empress tea gown, which is something that is completely ours. The roses on the front of this were inspired by a wedding dress from, I think it was from
Josephine,
right.
Napoleon's Josephine. She was very well remembered for her empire dresses that she had right below the bosom. Everything that she wore was up there. And this was inspired by her relationship with Napoleon that got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but it was love at first sight. And she wore a gown that was supposed to have been like this to her wedding, he was late. He showed up very late because he was reading maps. And when he did show up, many of the guests had left, and she was very disgruntled about it. And in their wedding bed that night, her dog, she had a little pug named Fortune. He slept with her at night, and he did not want Napoleon in their bed. So the love bed was definitely threatened the first night, but she was supposed to have been wearing a gown like this. And the Empire bodice is still very popular today. And Jane Austen, she sported that in most of her.
And didn't you say she picked up on the same thing? She kind of copied the whole trend and brought it back to being into it. And the when we were looking for the different kinds of embroidery, the fun thing was we got to look through all of these laces from all over the world. And you were seeing things that were from people's actual wedding gowns. And I mean, these things that they're so brittle, they were under glass. And so it means more to us probably because we know that we got these things that are absolute keepsakes. So this is kind of a treasure. We're very proud of this. And and on the bottom, the lace is the bow lace. Where this whole thing is
beribboned.
Beribboned, yes. So, and it has a little opening here to add to it. So there it is. And the color, we said this was a peach and
it's like a peach
taupe
sorbet with some champagne taupe overlay.
So. All right, and that brings us to our next item, which is, this is kind of near and dear to my heart. This is the Lady Hatherton mug. And you wouldn't know much by seeing it here, but I was just trolling through the internet one night and I saw the whole story of this woman. She was married to a baron back in the 1800s, and her name was Lady Hatherton. Her actual name was May Hyacinth, and she lived a very affluent life. She had a beautiful lifestyle, and she had this thing where as soon as her servants left, she would slip out and go around the town and find anybody who was in need. And she would listen to hear who was ill or who was having hard times, or and she would leave them little care packages. And she would leave medicine, she would leave food, whatever they wanted. And she would always, her signature was she would always put a hymn. And it was a famous hymn that's actually on here. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows swell, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to know, it is well with my soul. And it's just a beautiful little mug. This is actually something that one of the people that she helped on her deathbed, all the people that she'd helped, this can make me cry. It's a really sweet story. But they all brought gifts to her when she was on her deathbed, and this was actually made in her honor from one of the families that she helped. So it's just,
that's wonderful.
They completely, our art department, which we talk about very fondly, they really took so much care in going in on the original and making sure that they came in on exactly the detail on this. So they have brought this back from something that we would never have had. And it is an artifact.
Well,
I mean, it really
the
is.
line, it is well with my soul. I think that you could say that was very representative of the Victorians' acceptance of what life gave them. Because we know that they experienced so much hardship. And even though they were such a refined generation, it was, customary for them to not have a child live past the age of 3, 1 out of 3. All the different illnesses that befell them, the mortality rate. I mean, you were lucky to live to be the age of 40. So the Victorians were very accepting. And it is well with my soul. It was looking at the cup half full instead of half empty, and seeing what they were given as a gift and not what they were not given. So that is something that I think we could definitely learn from today, because we are a little spoiled. Anyway.
So these are the kinds of stories that touch us, that we see, that that they're just something we want to share. And there's something that, for whatever reason, we felt like they were something that was worth sharing with the world. And that's why we go to the effort to do this and to bring something out that has such a beautiful backstory.
And at Valentine's time, we tend to see that there's a lot of emphasis on romantic love. But love has a lot of different flavors, as you all know. And, the romantic love is fun. It's nice, but it's something that the love that encompasses all of us. It's important to cherish our girlfriends and our husbands and our children and our parents and all the people, the loved ones that come into our life. So with our collections at Valentine's Day, we are very mindful of love in general. Even if it's the little dog at your feet, we have something for her as well. So anyway, we're in love with love at Victorian Trading Company.
Okay.
Well, you're in my living room, in my home, and I am very thankful that we have all been able to come together and share some stories. And this is just but one of many other visits we will have in which we discuss the things that just make us happy.
And we're glad to have you here to understand our passion behind what we think is important to share. And we want you to come back and hear some of these backstories and some of these things that it really is a storytelling hour. It's a time for us to share all of this wonderful history that otherwise it would be lost. So we're very glad to have you.
So thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.